Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Derek, and I'm with friend of Intune Music. This is Mike Lunney. We're really excited that Mike is with us today. Got a couple of different things we want to talk about. Glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Great
How
to
you
be
doing?
here. Fine.
New Year going okay?
So far, so good.
So far,
a lot left.
Agreed. Well, let's catch up a little bit because I am excited, and I'm sure many people follow you. But for the people that don't follow you on social media, you had a pretty cool experience here at the end of 2023.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. I got to perform in the Macy's Day Parade with the band directors marching band.
Man, I was kind of hoping you'd show up in the red jacket.
I've got the red blazer. You didn't warn me. I could have worn my blazer.
So what was that like, man? I mean, you and how many other?
There's
These are all
total.
directors, right?
Yeah, everyone's a director, either retired or actively teaching. But there's 400 of us, and from all over the nation. The only state that was not represented was Wyoming.
So what was it like?
On multiple levels. One, it was just fun to be a band kid again and just go. And it wasn't as much fun skipping curfew because no one really punished you. But you know, just listening to someone else and putting things together, and just the experience of the first time we met, that we all got our horns out, and then we read through 6 charts.
Wow.
That we'd all memorized.
Right.
And we were done.
You know, I tell people this all the time. I get goofy looks. I would still be in marching band if it was available to me. I just loved it. I just had that much fun. It might be the trumpet player in me. I know you're a trumpet player as well, but I just miss the adrenaline of listen to this. Yeah. So good for you. It was long. How far did you have to march?
It was really not that far. It was 2.5 miles.
Oh, okay.
Compared to the Rose Bowl, it's like 5 or 6 miles.
But I think you were kind of famous for a moment, or you were the superstar? Or?
Well, I got a lot of ribbing on the bus after we got back on the buses because I was the only one that had a close-up.
Camera hog.
Yeah, that's right. So I just told them I'm just kind of a model, kind of photogenic, and you know, they kind of drift towards me that way.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, what am I going to do? It's just the aura that surrounds me.
Thank you for representing music education from West Texas.
Oh, you bet.
And all the places in Texas. And I'm going to ask you this real quick because I think you mentioned this when we were talking earlier. The people not from Texas, did they recognize that y'all were from Texas and ask?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of questions about that. There were 36 of us from Texas.
Wow.
And I think the most were actually from Ohio because that's kind of the base point of this band.
Okay.
But you know, they had all kinds of questions about how we do things, why we do things,
right.
How we fund things.
How could you possibly do things?
Yeah. And it's some of the really good band programs I saw recordings of that operate on budgets that most of our bands, their entire budget for this program is what a Texas band might spend on music.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, it's a shoestring budget that they operate on.
Well, again, thanks for representing Texas well and representing trumpets well. And
that's right. That's the
I hope Rick
part.
can put the shot up of you repping the trumpet.
That's right.
You can just see it in the face. I'm still a trumpet player.
That's right. So, the alpha male.
I'm also excited that we did this last year.
Yeah.
We call them, for lack of a better term, listening sessions. Is that?
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
Cool. And so let's talk about that. We're going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Succinctly, what is a listening session?
Well, the idea behind it is the fact that in the old days, we used to gather like on here at the old Caldwell Music.
Right.
We would gather on Thursdays before lunch, and we would bring our recordings on cassettes, and we'd play them for the men. You know what I mean? The gods of band.
Absolutely.
The Bill Woods and the Warren Thaxtons and all that crew and the Jack Knowles. And they would tell us what we needed to do.
You know, we had the same experience. I'm from Odessa.
Oh, yeah. With Jared McIntyre, Charles
Dan
Nail.
Gibbs.
Dan Gibbs,
Charles
oh my
Nail.
gosh.
And it was so much fun. I was a repair person at the time. To walk by that break room and see all the coffee mugs and see their recordings, and we had a record player.
Yeah.
And you know, just to hear somebody go, so you're saying you have this instrumentation, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you this recording.
Right.
And they would sit down and they would walk people through it.
Yeah.
Same kind of concept.
Same kind of concept, except back then it was a lot more brutal.
Those
guys kind of survived World War II, so they didn't really care about our feelings much. And we're a little more genteel in nature as we do this.
Okay, so what are we going to do? How, people just show up?
Well, what they do is they need to contact me, and the information will be on the Facebook ad and so forth. And we put you in time slots, and it's a 30-minute slot, and you bring scores. Photocopies, please, so we can just mark on them. They don't have to be originals because they're just for educational use. And then bring a recording of your band. and then they'll play, the recording will be played. Me and the other 2 clinicians will do an audio voice judges tape, whatever you'd like to call it.
It was fascinating to watch you guys do that last year. You're talking, you're writing, you're flipping pages.
Well, it's just like judging UIL. You just get kind of in the mode of doing it. It's just a method of operation. But it gives them 3 audio files they can go through and slow down and repeat. Plus, when we're finished with that portion, they'll have time to ask questions and discuss things and kind of pick our brains a little bit.
Let me do context real quick, because not everybody that watches the post is going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. Just about every school music program in the state of Texas at some point this spring, choir, orchestra, band, every program is going to face some sort of evaluation. Is that what we call them these days? Evaluations?
Evaluations.
And so 3 gentlemen will sit and listen to a live performance of your group, and they will, as you just said, they'll talk into a tape recorder, and they'll make notes about what you did well, what you could do better. And then at that stage, we call it concert sighting contest, evaluation. They prescribe a rating for you. This is before that.
Right.
So this is not a contest per se. This is not necessarily a judged evaluation.
I would think of it like a scrimmage.
There you go.
For a football team.
Or just a chance to let gentlemen who have been there, done that several times.
Yeah, I'm old.
You have any idea how many contests you've been to? How many
Oh God,
evaluations?
I don't. It's been over 100 easily.
Wow. So, but the thing is we're trying to create, again, as you say, the camaraderie aspect of it, the sharing aspect of it, more so than we're judging you.
When I was working with my own band, sometimes your ears become immune to hearing certain things. You hear it so many times in a row with your own ensemble, you begin to believe it's correct. And then someone else hears it and they go, Mike, what are you doing? And so that's the idea, is to get different sets of ears to evaluate for you.
I relate that back to our employees, the same way that you see that store every day.
Yeah.
And you just don't see things anymore. But somebody, like I walk in from a different store and go, why is that there? Why is this? What is that? What is going on with this? And they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the exact same
just didn't even notice it anymore.
And it might be a stylistic thing that if they can correct it now, will pay huge benefits. Because the normal method of operation, and I was guilty of this as well, you get a clinician to come in a week before contest.
Right.
And if something's really needs correcting, there's not enough time to correct it.
And it's a habit already.
Yeah, so I like to do it both ways now. I would have people come in and work like in this listening session to give me ideas, then get clinicians to come in later and kind of hit both avenues.
Cool. So let's think about everybody that might be interested in this. There's going to be some people that are like, I understand what you're doing, but the why of it. I mean, you said that's well, but if I'm on the fence of why should I do that? Is it to make my band better? Is it to make me better? Is it to just validate what we're doing? Or
oh, it's all 3. Because every clinician I ever brought in to work my band, I would be honest with my group. I'd say, this is half for me and half for you. And then they would tell us, they'd validate the things we're doing well, and they would tell us the things we weren't doing well. And that's kind of the goal behind it.
With still enough time to
make whatever corrections you want.
Awesome.
Because there's multiple ways to do things right in music.
What would you say to, and listen, I'm just going to be blunt about it.
Okay.
I don't know that I want somebody to hear my group. I'm too nervous to bring a recording, because this is public forum. I mean, you don't have to have a group with you can come listen if you're a school music director and just want to see what's going on and hang out. And we encourage that. We'd love to have as many people, directors, show up, college students from the local area. Come on out. Come hang out.
Please.
Let's network while we're doing this. But I don't know that I want to put a recording out there. Is this still valuable, or would you encourage them somehow?
I would encourage them, because I know exactly how they feel. Exactly how they feel, because I've been there. I don't care whether it was the first band I had of 17 kids or the final marching band I had of close to 200. Wow. It's still that same feeling. I'm too sick to see the doctor. If that makes sense.
It does make total
I don't
sense.
want to throw it all out there and show everyone that I'm sick and I'm seeing the doctor. It's like, but the only way you're going to get better is critique.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say. I encourage people all the time. If you won't put yourself out there, you'll never get better.
Right.
And that's all we really want to encourage. the purpose of this is to encourage, is to build up, is to strengthen, is to make you and your group better.
Yes.
And sometimes the only way to do that is say, here it is.
And I'd like to throw out there, in our part of the world, there's a lot of geography.
Correct.
You know, if you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, or San Antonio, or Houston, you have 15 6A schools within 6 miles probably. And out here, and I've taught in the Throckmortons and the Electras, and and great experiences for me. But you know, sometimes you end up just in your cave.
Right.
And you just do your thing, you know, and you don't really see other people. So it gives an opportunity for a lot of these guys and ladies to come in and see some other directors, realize that we're all making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
We're all making the same mistakes.
We're all on the journey.
Yeah, we're all on the journey. We have the same problems. And there's a good sense of camaraderie about it.
What if I don't have great recording equipment, Mike?
Just bring it on a phone or whatever. We can hook you in.
We had that last year, did we not?
Yeah,
Just
we had
people that
people
recorded it with their phone.
Yeah, and we'll just play through a PA. If you have a better system set up. In fact, I would dare say, you know, people say just on your phone. But oh my goodness, my phone records
the quality now
better than the first 20 years of my recording equipment.
That's the absolute truth.
Cassette decks and boom boxes, and you know, so don't be afraid of that. It's something as simple as it doesn't matter what the quality is because we can hear the duration. We might not be able to hear the balance and blend as much, but I guarantee you there will be things to.
Well, stylistically, again, as you say, length of note and tone and intonation, you can still.
Right,
pull that
exactly.
stuff out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have the stereo mic set up to the, you know, the highest quality. We just want to be able to go, man, it sounds like you're doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Here's some things that we noticed.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And they can Bluetooth in, and we'll have about 15 different types of cords and inputs. So don't worry about getting it hooked into the system.
Perfect. Well, give us the quick 30-second details, times, places, where we're going to be, when we're going to do them.
Okay. I'll use my cheat sheet. We'll be in Odessa on Sunday, February 18th, and it'll be myself and Jason Brents and Daniel Todd will be helping with the clinician work.
Good guys.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun panel to be around. And we do the times from 1 to 5:30, and if you guys will contact me through email, usually email's the best, but texting's fine. But don't do it by a phone call because I'll forget.
Or it might be with somebody else right now and forget to go back to it.
Yeah, and might go back to it. So email or text is the best, and we can assign you a time slot at your benefit. It's from 1 to 5:30, the time slots, 30-minute sessions. If we need to add some before or after, we're available to do that.
So we don't want to
We're not going to turn anyone away. And even last year, there were about 7 or 8 that we never could fit into time slots, and they couldn't be here. Some as far away as Port Neches.
Wow.
That sent me recordings, and I did it on my own on behalf of Intune Music and sent them the material back.
Well, that's one reason we're trying to get the word out now.
Yeah.
So go ahead and listen. I don't know that everybody's picked out their contest music yet. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
If you're that's fine. But let's go ahead and get you slotted. And we're trying to do this early enough. Let's talk real quick. We'll go ahead and tell them Abilene. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. The Abilene Intune store will be on Sunday, February 25th. Same time frame.
Okay.
Same setup, exactly.
So we're doing those in the Intune Music stores. We're going to set chairs up. All directors welcome. Come by, hang out, and the adjudicators will do.
And you guys are providing free food.
We are. We have a snack
Nothing
tray,
else.
drinks.
It's a free lunch.
But here's the other thing that what would you say to people who are like, oh, I'm going to early contest or I'm going to late contest? We can handle both. If they tell us up front, is that a different set of ears you listen with?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because when you tell me your time slot that you want, please let me know if when you're going to contest. I've got like the Region 6 bands, but like in Port Neches, Austin Wolf, I don't know when he goes to contest. And I've been working with his band via technology for a whole year now. But if you'll let us know, then we listen in terms of what are the last second things we can clean up and make sound good because we're close to contest. Or if you're a month and a half away from contest, that's a different set of listening.
Good.
Yeah.
But they're both welcome.
Oh, yeah.
At that session.
But it helps if we know. Yeah, just let us know.
Perfect. So 18th is in Odessa.
Mm-hmm.
Starts at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
25th is in Abilene.
Yep.
Starts at 1 o'clock. And we take all comers. We don't have qualifications for what classification you are. 1A, 6A. Come on down and let somebody else take a listen and offer some encouragement and some positive things that we can do to make your group better.
Yeah.
And again, I just am trying to stress, this is not a bring it in. Let's see
Right,
what we
right. And I would highly suggest, you brought up our amazing college directors, if they could convince some of their music ed students maybe to drop by. I know when I went to college, we were required to go to, at the time it was called contest, but he never let us go to concert contest.
Okay.
He made us go to sight reading, and we'd have to do a detailed written analysis on each band in sight reading and turn it in to our band director. Awesome. And so it ended up, I learned a lot. You know, so
Sure.
just for it's a Sunday afternoon, they can partake of the food and beverage and have a good time, and we can get to meet them because they'll be in our field pretty soon.
You know, just to
Network.
piggyback that, as a music ed major, there were so many great things I learned in the classroom, but there were so many things that actually going out and putting hands on and seeing and listening and asking somebody that's done it for a while. I just can't stress enough how valuable just that network is.
Yeah.
And you're going to be out there at some point, college music ed major. How great would it be to already know some people that are doing it, that know you, and be able to say, hey, I'm going to do a quick little plug, and I hope that you'll be part of this with me. I'm looking at a podcast called One Thing.
Okay.
And the one thing is going to be, when you were starting, if you would have known one thing that would have made life easier or helped you. So that's a quick plug.
Be great.
But for now, listening sessions, 18th, 25th, both of them start at 1 o'clock. You need to contact Mr. Lunney at the information we got it on the screen. I know Rick will put it on the screen. But get signed up early, because it's amazing. Sometimes we think these aren't going to happen, and then in 30 minutes, every slot fills up. So don't wait. Get it done now. Thank you for your time, my friend.
You bet.
Always great to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Y'all have a blessed day.